I've been interested in conservation ever since I started farming back in 1984, and even growing up, my father and mother were conservationists, and then my father got into no-till farming in the 1970s. And when I came back to the farm in 1984. We expanded that no-till, and then by the late 80s, early 90s, we were 100% no-till. And one thing that was kind of left out of that equation, though, was the nutrient loss that we see. And that's one thing that I've been trying to address for several years, is stopping nutrients from leaving our fields. And I think of it in this way, that we have a sense of urgency to contain our livestock. When cattle break through a gate or break down a fence, or it is all hands on deck, that we've got to get those cattle in, and we've got to get them in because they're valuable. And two, they might be a liability to our neighbor. And so we get those cattle back in, we fix the fence, we double chain the gate, we do whatever we can to contain that livestock. And so I've always thought, why don't we have that sense of urgency with our nutrients? We get a big rain, and our nitrogen and some of our phosphorus might leave the fields and make their way down the road ditches into the streams. And, they end up in the Gulf of Mexico in the dead zone. And you trace that all the way back, and municipalities are having to spend taxpayer money to remove nitrates from the water, and it's a problem all throughout the Mississippi River Valley. Conservation journey kind of came into focus about 5 years ago, when an industrial CAFO attempted to move into Livingston County about 3 or 4 miles from here. And it probably wouldn't have impacted us right here, but there was the threat that more CAFOs were going to come in once this one was established. So we organized, and they were moving in right close to Poozy Conservation Area, which is one of the 1,000 or more conservation areas that are maintained by the Missouri Department of Conservation. And people from all over the state and nation enjoy our conservation areas. A CAFO could establish about anywhere in this country about any time now, and there's really not a lot that a lot of us can do except voice our opinion. What we're looking at here are gray coneflowers, bee balm. I'm seeing some Virginia wild rye, and I'm also starting to see some big blue and little blue start to emerge in this field. The biggest thing is how they hold the soil in place. And this entire country was, or 10,000 years, was native prairie. And you see the results of that in our topsoil today. And the negative part of that is that we've lost about half of that topsoil that in 150 years that it took 10,000 years to make. This field could withstand an 8-inch rain right now with the prairie here. And if we had an 8-inch rain on a till field, you can imagine the soil erosion that would take place. But I think it's time that every farmer does something. And so if you could pick a field to maybe have a border, or you could do a prairie strip someplace, there's just a lot of possibilities out there, and we need to be thinking about all of them.